Plenty to talk about, limited time to do it. Let's jump right in with the tropical update and the newest tropical depression that was just declared such at the top of the hour. That's number 7. Doesn't have a name because it's not strong enough yet, but expectations are that it's healthy enough, even though it's in a not so favorable environment right now with some dry air to the west of it. Still likely to have an opportunity within the next 12 to 24 hours to gain a name. And a tropical storm would likely continue to move to the west based on the latest projections from the National Hurricane Center. That seems to be a pretty consistent track for the next 3 to 5 days, with only modest strengthening through at least Friday, and then likely encountering some unfavorable situations once it passes close to or west of the Lesser Antilles. That's going to be a zone where we have more upper level wind. Shear is what we call it, and usually that helps to stall or even reverse the strengthening trend of a tropical system. It has ample moisture, but in the long range there's still a lot of dryness in its path. Nonetheless, it does have some things working in its favor. It's well over the open Atlantic, so no land in the way. Water temperatures are sufficiently warm. So the bottom line for this at this update is that it has some battling to do before it makes its way all the way into the Caribbean. There's no guarantee it's going to hold itself together, but at least in the next 1, 2, maybe 3 days, it does have that potential to at least get to that tropical storm level. The Gulf system, not quite in the Gulf quite yet, but it does have enough moisture across the Florida Straits and a very broad circulation to where it's still being monitored for future development over very warm water, but somewhat active upper pattern. So the formation chances about 30 to 40% for the next 2 to 5 days, and it's going to continue that westward movement towards the southeast Texas region. So it may scratch us with a little bit of its moisture, but that's about it when it comes to any sort of direct or indirect impacts that wave of moisture will have. It stretches well into the central Caribbean, but stretched out and not well formed. Elsewhere in the tropics, we're looking okay for now, but we are approaching that time of year where systems tend to ramp up a little more easily. Next names on the list, Gonzalo and Hannah, and we'll highlight those two because either one of those current highlighted systems could gain a name, and that's something we'll monitor very closely.